This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. Some people have a natural giving and helping nature. Whether it's seeing a homeless person on the streets and giving them a couple of dollars, or you call them to help you with a problem and they are on their way with no questions asked. I'm sure we all know an individual that operates like that, no matter if they're a friend or a family member. It's good to have kind-hearted people around who don't have any hidden agendas. When you are the type of person that's always helping, going to people's aid and rescue, it can be exhausting though. Most people like that usually put themselves last, always the one everybody else calls on, and they have no one to call when they need a helping hand. Depending on how you view life though, it's honorable to be everybody's hero, but you definitely have to be careful the situations you agree to help with and the circumstances around them. Most of us know from experience that it's best to stay out of other people's relationships. If someone calls and say they are having a problem with their significant other that's not physical or life-threatening, it's best to let grown-ups handle their own issues, because more than likely you will put yourself out there just for them to be right back together the next day. And now you are looking like the bad guy. Worse than that, you come around with pure intentions to help someone in their situation, and their significant other takes that as disrespect. And depending on the type of individual they are, your helping nature could put you in harm's way. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a case of a man's attempt to help his girlfriend's sister get rid of her dude that took a turn for the worse. Back in 2020, Tyrell Wyach was navigating life in Baltimore. The Virginia native was known to have a lot of friends and didn't make enemies, with the type of personality that could uplift even the most down person. Tyrell was known for being outgoing and always having a smile on his face, and if you was his peoples or friend, always there to help in any situation. Tyrell's life revolved around sports. One sport in particular was football, where he excelled on the field. He played multiple positions, and as he got older, he joined the DMV Flag Football League, in which him and his team even won championships. Off the field though, the man had a girlfriend who he was feeling a lot, who we will call Shannon for the sake of the story. It's unclear how long Tyrell and Shannon were seeing each other, but the type of person he was, he considered her and her family his peoples, including her sister, who we will call Shay. Shay was also herself in a relationship with a man named Lydell Darian. The two were close and even shared a place together in Owens Mills, Baltimore County. But Lydell, being a ladies' man, was keeping his options open. He would often slide by his side chick house, and when Shay found out, she was furious. She wanted to confront Lydell about cheating on her, and she knew exactly where he was at. So earlier in the day, on December 3rd, 2020, she called her sister to let her know the plans. Shay explained to Shannon she wanted Lydell out her place, so she was going to go confront the man to get her key back. But she needed some backup just in case things went left, since Lydell was at the other woman's house. Shannon hung up from her sister and called her boyfriend Tyrell. With no hesitation, he agreed to go with them to confront Lydell. When they pulled up, he was sitting in his gold Lexus with his side piece in the front seat. They were in front of the young lady's house, which caused the sisters to confront her and him. The sisters let Lydell know if he made his choice, Then Shay needed her key back. At first he refused to, until Tyrell pressed up on him, reaching in the car, taking the keys, and giving Shay her key back. Then they left, took her home, and Tyrell and Shannon got ready to head to the casino. They both thought the situation was handled and over with. Later that night, Shannon got a call though, from her sister stating Lydell had came by the house to pick up his belongings, and he wanted to talk to Tyrell because he felt disrespected. He carried them like that in front of everybody. Shannon handed the phone to Tyrell, and after a brief exchange between the two men, Tyrell rerouted and told Shannon they were going to go to the casino later. First, he was going to go see what Lydell wanted to talk about, man to man, face to face. The couple pulled up to Shay's house, located in Piston Circle and Owens Mills. Tyrell told Shannon to go in the house, and Shay opened the door. He asked where Lydell was at, and what exactly did he want to chop it up about. But soon as the sisters got into the house good, they heard 3 shots and saw Tyrell fall while standing next to Lydell's gold Lexus before the car sped off. They instantly called Baltimore County Police, who responded to the home to find Tyrell shot multiple times. He was rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. As both the sisters was taken in for questioning, they told detectives the events of that day. How Lydell told Tyrell he wanted to talk after feeling disrespected about the house keys. But one of the sisters stated she knew it was Lydell's car the shots came from, and the other claimed it was a black car in the area already parked up, and she thought that's who shot. But with the statements, a warrant was put out for Lydell. He was soon located and taken in for questioning. He told police about the confrontation with the keys, but he claimed he came back to Shay's house to talk and get his things before leaving, claiming he had no idea who shot Tyrell. But with the sisters' interview and him admitting to being in the area at the time of the shooting, Lydell was taken into custody, charged with the murder of Tyrell. While at Baltimore County Detention Center out Towson, on a recorded call, Lydell told somebody to make sure a young lady he considered a friend got rid of his phone, in which he gave her one day after the incident, leading police to assume he was trying to hide evidence. As Tyrell's family was left to grieve the situation, it didn't sit right with some of them, and Shannon later stated she started receiving threats from people feeling like she either set Tyrell up or her and her sister was responsible for the situation. Lydell also was getting threats while in the jail, with Tyrell having a lot of love because of the type person he was. He reported that people was threatening him and trying to extort him for his commissary and money, and he wanted to check in or go to PC. As the case started making its way to trial, both sisters testified on the events of that day. Lydell's friend, who he gave the phone to, also testified on what he said after the shooting. Prosecutors painted it as a clear case of revenge after feeling disrespected and embarrassed in front of multiple women. In the end, a jury found Lydell guilty of second-degree hit, and he was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Rest in peace to Tyrell. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I know a lot of y'all probably feel exactly how I feel. He should have just let his girl's sister handle her own problems. But some people just can't help themselves. They want to help everybody, especially against someone they feel was hurting somebody they cared about, family. But in the end, having a good heart, unfortunately, cost Tyrell his life. With Lydell, I'm sure his pride was all hurt. He probably felt he got tried in front of his girl, side chick, and her sister. For most men, their ego will get us to crash out every time. But I want to know y'all thoughts about this situation. If you were in any one of these brothers' shoes, what would you have done? Would you have went with them to confront Lydell if you was Tyrell? Or would you have felt disrespected and reacted like Lydell did in the situation? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, this was a messed up situation from the beginning. To me, that phone call from the sister was a recipe for something bad to happen, especially if the two men ain't know each other. But yeah, rest in peace that man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Just another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.